All right. Welcome back to another episode of Wired Together with your Winternet Web Technology host. I'm Melanie Winter.
And I'm Jason Winter.
And today we are going to talk about something near and dear to our hearts. When we think about what all of the who we are's of everything that we do, we are this weird, interesting dichotomy of the old and the new. And so we operate out of a very old building, original Bracy building, in our community that is a bit on the older end of things. And we have a very, very much a love of
definitely an affinity
for the older style. We have a very old house, antiques all over, many pieces of furniture older than we are, older than our grandparents. And so we love that kind of feel, that a little bit broken, a little bit squeaky. That is something we're going to really jump into. And so we have in our house, butter churns and hurricane lamps,
right?
And quite a few. It is just kind of something that is us, and something we value, and of course our value system.
Sure.
We're kind of old people in heart, so we
definitely
have
old souls. We
have more of that, kind of self-sustaining, do-it-yourself values, and being connected to people in the old community way. So we love that. And then, of course, what makes us kind of flutter away from that, or not away, but
it's a contrast, but it's
the contrast is still very us.
In tandem.
Is we have children we've raised who are actually troubleshooters, so they're very good at taking something in the tech world and making it work for them and troubleshooting. We do have a lot of the latest technology in the house, which is wild because you get a butter churn and Alexa droid that talks to you, and plays whatever music you want. And so that's kind of cool, the two things going together, and then kind of a philosophy of what we believe in is with our old system values. We also have a tech is freedom kind of philosophy. So we talk about this a lot. What all of these new technologies mean for the freedom of things, to be able to be self-sustaining through tech,
right? Which
goes back to the self-sustaining ideas of the values. So it kind of goes together, even though it sounds like it's opposite or.
I mean, I would say that you got to know history to know where it's going. People say that. So I think having an understanding of that history gives you a respect, and also we see how, looking at our house, you can easily, it's really fun if you do any demolition, any of you out there that have restored an older home, you can kind of see how things have come along and how the technologies have changed as you get behind the wall and you see certain things. So by seeing what was there, it gives you a respect for it, but also an understanding of what is to come. Mm-hmm. And also, ironically, in this same building that we're recording this podcast in, about 20 years ago, you started an antique shop.
Right.
So here we are once again, this whole Renaissance cyclical nature of things.
Oh, the smell of antiques or an auction house is just...
Oh, yeah, exactly. No.
Something that gets me excited.
Yeah. You came up with a really neat idea, and I'm very excited about this.
So, with this cool idea of the two, the old and the new, we decided to create a game with our AI co-host. That so the AI is going to be the host of this game
show,
and we're going to be the poor victims of the night.
I'm a little nervous because I have no idea what it's going to throw at us.
We've gone through it, but the AI knows it's not allowed to use any of the terms that we've already seen.
Yeah, we've already programmed it. Yep.
But we are going to use. So AI is going to ask us technology terms, and so we've given it a prompt of what we mean by old technology terms and the newer technology terms. So the prompt is pretty much the turn of the last century. So we're talking
before 1900.
Right.
Would be the old technology.
Be old. So 1800s or
1800s and back.
And behind that. So all the way to ancient technologies.
Whatever.
Yeah. Because technology is something that's just, new to the community or new to, something that has been invented.
Yeah,
so technology is everything. And then the new is considered the 20th and 21st century.
Mm-hmm. So I guess also with that, the name that we collaborated and came up with was Tech Through Time.
Tech Through Time.
So then, right, that's an inside joke between us, but maybe if you comment, we'll tell you. But we also were like, well, what's a game show without a theme song? So we also used AI to come up and generate a theme song based on a prompt, and we are just going to play that for you. And if you know us,
we're gonna get ourselves started.
Yeah, we're gonna get ourselves started, and we're gonna play.
Feeling
this.
Good?
Yeah, we'll find it. So we're gonna go ahead and play our little theme song here, intro, and there it goes.
It's very exciting.
It is very exciting.
Very 8-bit.
Yes, very 8-bit. Now I'll tell you this. My plan was to only do this for a few seconds, but I just need a moment here.
I am dancing.
Yep. Thankfully, there's no video to this, and it's only audio. No, this is kind of cool. Look, any of y'all played the old NES games?
Would you say DuckTales is...
Yeah.
Made you think of DuckTales?
Yeah, it definitely had a DuckTales, Mega Man, Capcom vibes.
Oh, yeah. I can definitely see the little guy running through.
Oh, yeah. Me and my girls love to play DuckTales. They're actually, of course, the classic one. And, all right, I'm geeking out here. The Moon level is probably one of the best soundtracks of any NES game. And but then there was a reboot that came out, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. I don't even know what system, but we downloaded it. Yeah, that shows it's newer. We downloaded it, didn't have a cartridge. And so I was able to experience DuckTales with my girls, and that was a really fun time. So, but yeah.
All right, that's a squirrel.
Yeah, that is a squirrel. That's fine, but it's a worthy squirrel. All right, someone back me up out there. All right, so we are going to start our game here, and we pray that our co-host here doesn't have connection issues. All right, so here we go. All right, let's play Tech Through Time. Give us one mystery term to guess.
All right, let's do it. Your mystery term is punch card. What do you think? Is that old tech or new tech?
Ooh,
well, I'm glad you started with, well, yes, actually, technically it is. It bridges the gap. I mean, the punch card probably started...
with the loom.
Yeah, very early 1800s. But it was used up until
early
through
computing.
the 70s. I mean, you don't drop your stack of punch cards because that's a really sad time of trying to get everything back in order.
That's a bit trick question there.
Yes, I don't know. I really feel like it's old and new, but it's probably not going to realize that even though the punch card as a concept started back in the very early 1800s, the punch card in this case might be new technology. Look, all right, I'm going to ramble the answer off to it. It can understand where we're coming from, that we think this is a mix. All right. We think this is both old and new. We know it started with a loom back in the early 1800s and was used probably through the 1970s. So this is kind of a bridge. But we know punch card as its term was probably part of the new.
You nailed it. Punch card cards definitely have a fascinating history. They started out in the early 1800s with the Jacquard loom, and then they became super important for computers all the way through the mid-20th century. So they definitely bridge that gap between old tech and modern computing. Great job on that one. Let me know if you want another term.
Ooh.
Man, we got.
I'm going to put a mark every time we're right. How about that?
Let's
We
do that.
by the way, are not.
Awesome. I'm glad it came through clear.
Oh,
If you
and
ever want
he's
to play
talking to
again
me.
or need anything else for your podcast, just
We
let me
do
know.
not have
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Google or anything. We do have a computer up to do the podcast, but we will not be searching
Look,
through it or
I am
anything
not.
like that.
I
We
got
are
this
just-
thing set up for sound. I am not messing with anything at the risk of it falling.
Right.
in. So.
All right, so I'm
we're-
going to put a notch on our side.
All right, so I guess I'll ask it to do another one. And we were planning on doing 10, but we're just going to see how it goes. I mean, yep, so let's move on to the next one. All right, give us another question.
All right, here comes your next mystery term, a vacuum tube. What do you think? Is that old tech or new tech?
All right, the vacuum tube, I believe, we're going to say new tech because it was after the 1900s. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was the UNIVAC that popularized that for data storage.
Right. That would be my guess is new tech for the way that we established new as the 20th century and 21st.
You know, there's a whole lore of debugging as a term because you open the windows, the computers generated so much heat and bugs would come in, bugs would go around just like your light bulb fixture, and it would actually create too much heat and the bulb would blow, which would cause a malfunction. So debugging meant take the bugs out from the tube.
Oh, it was real bugs.
Well, there are some people that say no, that's not how the story is, but I mean actually that is a very common concept. So, but the jury's still out whether that's how the term came about or not. But anyway,
Groovy.
All right, cool. Let's ask it. All right, I'm thinking new tech because the UNIVAC, I believe, might have been one of the first computers to use vacuum tubes, but it's within probably the 50s.
Great guess. Vacuum tubes are indeed a bit of a bridge between eras, but they're considered old tech. They were essential in early 20th century electronics, including radios, televisions, and the first computers like the ENIAC and the UNIVAC in the 1940s and 50s. So they're definitely old school, but they paved the way for modern electronics. Let me know if you want to try another one.
All right, well, new tech is post-1900s, I think, for the concept of this game, but I'm not arguing with the droid. So, all right, throw another one at us.
Got it. Well, keep it in mind that anything post-1900 can count as modern for the game. Here's another term for you, floppy disk. What do you think, old tech or new tech?
That is all you, buddy. You know this.
Oh, the floppy disk. I mean, technically, there were 10 or 8-inch ones before the 5 1/4 that, you know, I remember. Don't touch the magnetic stripe. All the posters on the wall and all that. Yep. But the floppy disk would be considered new tech. It's after the 1900s. And as another squirrel moment, you were talking about the tubes and all that, and I had visions to the ancient Egyptians and those the etchings in the wall that have this tube-looking thing. So I was like, if it was going to go back to that, I was going to wig out. I'm like, whoa, yeah, that is old tech. Yeah, I mean, the floppy disk is new. Then, of course, then it still was a floppy disk, and it was a 3.5-inch drive. Then you had high density, dual-sided, all that kind of stuff. This is the origins of my childhood, very strongly.
Which is why I'm like, you go for it, buddy.
I need to go on to the next question here. So, all right. So the floppy disk is new tech. You had like 8 10-inch ones, 5 1/4, 3.5, data storage. What you think?
Absolutely, you're spot on. The floppy disk is definitely considered a new tech in the grand timeline, even though it feels a bit retro to us now. They were super popular from the 1970s through the 1990s for data storage, and they definitely hold a nostalgic place in a lot of hearts.
Oh, yes.
Great. All right, that was a lot of fun. If you ever want to do this again or need anything else, just let me know.
Yeah.
Always happy to help out and join in on the fun.
So jovial. Yeah,
He's tried so hard.
we're going to keep going. I don't know. It's funny when you feel like the AI is just as excited as you are, but I know that's a extrapolation we put on tech where we try to humanize things that we connect with. Just makes us laugh either way. So far, I'm feeling better about this game, but let's see what's next. All right, let's get another one.
Sure thing. Here's your next mystery term. Graphene. What do you think? Is that old tech or new tech?
Okay. Graphene is related to graphite. And, geez, when did we start mining it for use? And I don't remember. I remember seeing it in the news probably about a decade ago. And it had some really cool properties that allowed us to do things. And I want to say...
Ooh, the steam is coming at you.
I want to say new tech.
I'll say old.
All right. She says old. I say new. Graphene is related to graphite, and it has a use in computing. I'm very vague.
That was vague.
That was
great. No worries at all. Graphene is indeed considered new tech. It was first isolated in the early 2000s and is known for its incredible strength and conductivity, making it a cutting-edge material in modern technology and electronics. So you got it right. Let me know if you want to keep going or if there's anything else I can help with.
You did, because I don't...
All right, let's keep going.
I don't count.
Awesome. Let's keep the fun going. Your next mystery term is abacus. What do you think? Is that old tech or new tech?
Now, we talk about this one a lot.
Yeah, this is unfair, and we usually...
Got it. The abacus is definitely old tech.
Old tech.
It's one of the earliest
You didn't let us
counting
answer,
tools
buddy.
going back thousands of years.
Yeah, we knew that one.
Paving the way for modern calculators and computers. Great job. Let me know if you're ready for another one.
All right.
You're supposed to mute it, though.
I did, but I think there's a delay in the muting. I hit it right away this time, but for some reason there's inconsistency in when it hears and doesn't. All right, so...
Yeah, we knew that when we always...
Yeah.
Talk about that one as far as...
It's in every textbook.
Again, it's really just part of the same old technology of even ancient Inca and that sort of thing, too.
Mm-hmm.
The knots and the ropes.
Oh, yeah, the rope thing.
Yeah, so it's...
Somehow they twisted them and it kept track of maybe numbers, or I don't know if they could really make calculations with it or not. But
the first technical computer, ancient, maybe Greek, when they would do the notches in they would turn ropes around the logs.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was either a notch or not a notch, so like a 1 or a 0.
Yeah.
So that was...
which is binary.
Which is the same thing.
Yeah.
And the Inca did it, the ancient Greeks.
Right.
And so the abacus is really not that far as a concept from all of that.
And I mean, I think, and I can't remember exactly, and I hope it doesn't ask me, but Charles Babbage had some type of machine, and I cannot remember the particulars, but it built off of that concept, which then led to the idea of, hey, how we can make a computer. And if anyone in the 80s remembers Babbage's as a computer store, that's where it came from. But anyway. All right, let's go. Give me another one.
All right, here we go. Your next mystery term is Bluetooth. What do you think, old tech or new tech?
Oh, well, definitely new.
You got it. Bluetooth is definitely new tech.
I don't know the time frame of
technology
muting and
came into play in the late 1990s and is now everywhere, connecting
1990?
Oh yeah, no.
Seriously?
Great job.
Yep.
Let me know if you want to keep going or if you need anything else.
I thought that was my kids' time, not mine. Childhood.
I mean, we had like Bluetooth. I think went more into like speaker systems and things like that, but for phones that came later.
Oh yeah, technology is out way before it's actually in the home.
Usually it's sometimes it's for a certain market, and then once it expands, and of course once it hits smartphones, and there she wrote, and that was it.
Right.
But all right, so I'm muting this thing right away after I ask the question.
I'm gonna
but
wait.
we may need to give it like 5 or 6 seconds before getting excited, because apparently it takes a while for it to. All right, are we still?
Okay, we're at 6. We're thinking 10.
Hey, let's do another one.
Let's keep it rolling. Your next mystery term is sundial. What do you think, old tech or new tech?
All right, are you muted yet?
Oh, there he goes. I can hear him mute. Okay.
Oh, cool. Isn't this cool?
Now that we know
Sundial,
that.
come on, man. I was expecting... Well, we need to have it kick it up in the last round. We're going to have it do something crazy. But, I mean, everyone knows what a sundial is.
Right. Much older. Very much older.
Well, all right. So...
That's ancient.
Yeah. I mean... And, you know, they started by creating, like, these obelisks and put them there. And actually, that's how they could also tell... the sun rotated, because the way the shadow was and how they recorded and communicated the distance of this obelisk and then 10 miles down the road that obelisk, and how the sun actually created a shadow at a different angle and a different length. But anyway, so let's move on to the next one.
Tell him.
Well, yeah, okay. All right, a sundial is definitely old tech, and when you're done talking about it, move on to the next one.
You got it. A sundial is definitely old tech, one of the oldest timekeeping devices, using the sun's shadow to tell the time. All right, let's jump right into the next one. Here's your next term, QR code. What do you think, old tech or new tech?
He's being a little too easy. A little too easy on us. The first 3 that we did as a trial were hard, and then now it's very easy.
Yeah, because we were typing it, trying to get whatever, and then, we got to talking to it, and then we told it never to show this again. Zorotrope, yeah.
Which, by the way, is fascinating.
I done forgot what it was.
It's almost the earliest
the animation
movie
thing?
kind of, and it's the animation that turns, using... like a candlelight and
then it turned and allowed the light to pass through, and it created images. So it's kind of like a hologram, but it was more of a...
Was it like a projector?
Well, yeah, projector, but the way it's trying to create the image. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so
that one was
now we're
more
talking
interesting
about QR
than
code.
he has been.
Right.
But
so the QR code obviously is, everyone knows the kind of bit-looking box-like thing, which has 3 squares in the corners that allows it to understand the orientation of the image. If I'm not mistaken, and I'll ask this thing, I think Nissan was involved in the creation of the QR code in the assembly line. And I could be completely wrong. But if I'm...
Be a fun fact if it were.
It would be. Well, I mean, we'll see here. All right, the QR code is new tech. Obviously, it is a block with 3 corner points that allow for the technology to understand and read the image, which then translates into either a URL or other text. But if I'm not mistaken, was Nissan involved in the creation of it in the assembly line?
You're absolutely right. QR codes are definitely new tech, and they were indeed created by a subsidiary of Toyota called Denso Wave back in the 1990s to help track automotive parts during manufacturing. So you've got that spot on. Great job. Let's keep going if you're up for it.
Okay, all right.
That's really cool.
Because as it passed through,
how much technology has come from the auto industry. That's amazing.
Well, I mean, the military and audio industry are going to be your 2 biggest things, because that's where the pressure is, like audio industry, to make it quicker, more efficient.
Right.
So if in the assembly line, if something is passing through, it's able to communicate information. You're able to step in and say, okay, actually, I need you to do it this way because there's been a change in the process. So you're able to communicate with the robotic mechanisms to do everything. So anyway, but that's cool. All right, we need to kick this up. This is we did not expect this. All right, you've been doing a great job, and we appreciate it, but we want to go harder. So let's think of this as like sudden death bonus round. Throw something at us that we may struggle with.
All right, let's kick it up a notch for the bonus round. Here's a tricky one. Difference engine. Is that old tech or new tech? Let's see if you can get this one.
Oh, he laughed.
Yeah, I didn't like that laugh.
This is a little evil.
I believe the difference engine is related to Charles Babbage, this early 1800s.
Ooh. Was that just because it was in your head, or?
What do you mean in my head?
You had already discussed that, so. But yeah.
I think because
I'm relying on you on that one.
I mentioned it earlier, it became, the resume was on the top of the pile now of reference. So Does the difference engine, is that old tech? I'm thinking early 1800s. It's related to what Charles Babbage created, right?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. No, keep talking.
Got it. The difference engine was indeed an early mechanical computer designed by Charles Babbage in the early 1800s, making it a fascinating piece of old tech history. Great job on that one. Let me know if you want to keep going with more challenging terms or if there's anything else I can do for you.
To do 10 is one more?
To do 10 is one more. All right, so...
We have one no and
all right.
One we got wrong and then 8 that we got right.
All right, so let's do one more. Make it hard, man. Make it hard.
All right, let's go for a tough one. Here's your final challenge. Teletype machine. What do you think? Old tech or new tech? Let's see if this one can stump you.
I'm waiting so it doesn't hear me. Okay, I think it went to sleep. All right, teletype. I mean, that's older tech. I mean, we were able to print with, like sliding in. Actually, it's where uppercase and lowercase came from. Because if you thought about all the little pieces you had to slide into, then, teletype would be.
You're thinking printing press.
I'm thinking printing press. Okay, we're talking about like the like Morse code, right?
Right.
All right.
Which is still old tech.
It's still old tech. Where's it?
I mean, my great-great-grandfather did Morse code.
Yeah, I know. And you want to talk about the story about?
Well, it's the reason we live in a place called Bracy, Virginia, because we used to be called St. Tammany as a charter town, and then because the train came through, and my grandfather, my great-great-great-grandfather gave money, land, and then...
Which is money.
very, very close.
Right.
Gave land to the railroad to build the railroad station, and then also the fact that it was actually easier to teletype or to the Morse code,
right,
Bracy, than it was St. Tammany, which was very long. That they started calling it Bracy, even though the town originally was St. Tammany. They just called it Bracy, and so that is where we live now.
Yeah, which is the last name that got, it was easier. Yep, that's really cool. And
so yeah, that technically is.
It gets back to the history thing we're talking about here.
Well, that's right at the turn of the century, so we're talking.
I know, that's what I'm wondering.
But that story is the turn of the century,
which I would say
before that.
So now we have a argument here of when it came through. I want to say it was before that, because I mean, if it was used for the railroad,
19th century, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it might have been not too long after World War II. I mean, not World War II. Geez, listen to me. Civil War. That we started stringing lines for communication. I mean, think of even like, I want to say maybe 1880s.
So if we're talking late 1800s, then that he really did do a hard one, because it's right on the cusp of what we did the timeline. Yep. The
I'm just going to go out there and say 1880s and let him say I'm wrong, but it's old tech. But I just want to hear the correction that might give me the decade. All right, we were talking. It's old tech based on what we're talking about for the game. I want to say maybe 1880s. Where are we?
You're absolutely right. The teletype machine is indeed old tech. It came into use in the late 19th and early 20th centuries and was a big part of early telecommunications. Great job on that one. You really nailed it.
It's right there on the line.
If you want to play again or have more fun challenges,
so we're right.
Yeah.
Just let me.
All right.
I'm so glad you enjoyed that. You did an awesome job with the game. If there's ever anything else you need, or if you want to play again in the future, just let me know. It's always a blast chatting with you.
All right, so you, of course, understand our podcast and everything. Will you say, goodbye to our listeners and just speak to anything you want to?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in and joining us for this fun round of Tech Through Time. It's been a blast exploring these tech mysteries with you all. Until next time, stay curious and keep having fun with technology.
All right, thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Ooh. Stay curious. I like that.
Fun. I do. I know. We already have a slogan, but
No, I like that too. Stay curious.
Stay curious, right? So.
Absolutely.
All right.
I will do that.
Well, I mean, I think we've reached our time allotment. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. We may do it again. I don't know. Well, it depends on y'all's feedback and all that. We might take it in a different direction, but you need to let us know what might be interesting to you.
We are hoping to do, as we go through some interviews, going into a little bit of the small business realm as opposed to the technology. We are a technology company, but also small business. So we wanted to kind of go in that direction too. So hopefully in the next few episodes,
we'll eventually have
a few little interviews and that kind of thing.
Yeah, we'd like to have, and our co-host is fun and everything, but we would like to have another
physical co-host,
another human,
maybe talks,
another human,
yeah,
that may be able to join the conversation, and someone local that may just reach out, and we have a couple people in mind already that we'll probably be talking to, but it would be really neat just to talk about small business, or even if you're an individual that has a background in technology, maybe something in the military, and a lot of our
they're
old.
not allowed to talk.
No. I'm not talking like area. I'm not even gonna say it, but no. People that, because the military obviously had some of the onset of technology, huge, some of the first hard drive, first whatever, and I've had people come in.
We wouldn't have the jumps without it.
What's that?
We wouldn't have had the jumps of technology without it.
No, you're exactly right. But I mean, a lot of people are very proud of what they did, so it would be really neat if you know anyone, if you have your folks, your grandparents, whatever. It would be great. Reach out, please, because we would love to just collaborate and just talk about how all this has come about. But also, like Melanie was saying, on the small business realm, just having a conversation about what it's like to have a small business, and we can talk about the enjoyable moments and the challenging moments and all of that. So, but and just before we sign off here, we just first want to thank you all for everyone's support and feedback for.
It has. It's
sharing
been
it. No,
lovely feedback.
Yeah, it really has.
Kept the nerves from being too far.
Right.
Too high.
And but I mean, this podcast thing really, I mean, honestly, if you haven't looked at the first one, look at it. And I said, oops, I pressed a button. And that was about as prepared as we were for that one. And
it's raw.
Right. It was raw. Right. So we just it's something we have grown to love, and we've put it out there, and as a podcast, you can find us on, of course, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, YouTube, your smart TV, Spotify. I mean, if you log into your smart TV and do a search, you can find it, and that freaked us out. But you can ask your Alexa and other entities and droids. I'm sure they can find us.
All and of course, droids. These are not the droids you're looking for.
Right. Exactly. But you can even go to our website, and there's a podcast link, and we have the player embedded in there as well. So,
winternetweb.com. Always go to the website. That's the easiest way to do it.
Winternetweb.com. I know a lot of people say like Winterweb or Winternet. The reason why it's Winternetweb is between the W's you have the word internet.
See, isn't that cute?
Yep, isn't that cute? And I thought about it while cutting grass one day, and I don't like cutting grass. So you
have to think of something, right?
I had to think of something to make money. So I was like, well...
not cut grass.
Right, so what am I going to do? Oh, yeah, there's that web design thing I've always done. So why don't I make that a business? That is the actual story, by the way. All right, so I think this ends...
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, right? No, I should have held off the reason and did a spoiler, but... this has been fun. So I think this ends our segment of Wired Together. So unplugging for now.
But always stay connected.